just go dark and scam people. But as a person who hasn't been a victim of this, it's quite amusing.
Seeded. I said that I'll fight in 10-ounce gloves. It was essentially a pro fight. Mad. But
Floyd Mayweather, you are a very insecure, unconfident, very tiny little man.
A stunning list has come to light, with Joe Rogan naming several well-known public figures who were allegedly deceived by Floyd Mayweather. Rogan made it clear that Floyd operated without any restraint, exploiting those around him through fraudulent investment schemes and deeply suspicious financial arrangements. According to reports, Floyd had access to sensitive insider information that proved critical in executing his elaborate long-term deception, giving him a significant advantage in manipulating those who trusted him.
Was privy to confidential information that was crucial to him pulling off his long con. Also, he knew shit about banking.
Mayweather's betrayal stretched far beyond the celebrity world. Millions of his own dedicated fans were pulled into his scheme. He threw his full support behind a cryptocurrency venture, painting a picture of guaranteed profits and shared financial success to generate massive excitement. The deeply troubling reality, however, was that Floyd never personally invested a single cent into the coin. He simply weaponized his enormous influence to drive fan investment, then walked away completely unaffected while countless supporters were left devastated by their losses. The sense of betrayal among fans was overwhelming, with a growing number of people replacing his famous name with a new one, Scamweather. It stands as yet another chapter in a long story of Floyd putting himself first, regardless of the damage left behind.
Imagine listening to Floyd Mayweather, a man who can't even read, for investing advice. That's exactly what happened last year when he was paid to promote the absolute Ponzi scheme token Ethereum Max, along with other celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Antonio Brown, and Paul Pierce. The coin shortly fell 97% right after the launch, leaving millions of fans and investors bankrupt. So to see what coins you should be actually buying, be sure to follow me. But like I was saying,
bad mistakes. I didn't want to hustle drugs. All I wanted to do was become a champion someday and have something.
Yes, we know, Floyd. You hustled Ethereum Max into people's wallets and then straight out. You weren't promoting financial freedom. You were speedrunning a rug pull. Don't believe everything you see online with these celebrities. They'll even sell their soul for a couple of bucks. They don't care if you go broke. They are already rich. You know what? We should call you Scamweather, not Mayweather.
It is genuinely difficult to wrap your head around the idea of turning to Floyd Mayweather, a man widely known to struggle with basic reading, for financial guidance. Yet that is precisely what unfolded when he accepted payment to publicly endorse the deeply questionable Ethereum Max token, standing alongside other celebrities including Kim Kardashian, Antonio Brown, and Paul Pierce. The fallout was swift and brutal. The coin's value collapsed by a staggering 97% almost immediately after its launch, wiping out the finances of millions of fans and investors who had trusted the people promoting it.
I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist.
NFT world, guess what?
Guess what?
Drop. And of course, I'm the money man. But guess what?
Sure are.
We're not done yet.
We aren't?
They told me
there's more scamming to be done.
And it's not over.
My God.
Autographed gloves.
Oh my God. That's incredible. 2,000 people that invest in his NFT project get a chance to win autographed gloves. It's crazy. But you might be asking, did he actually follow through on his promises and deliver these gloves? Of course he f***ing did.
Money May, you all know the rest.
Money May, you all know the rest. You just got scammed again.
The man the entire world knows as Money Mayweather, a brand built entirely on the foundation of limitless wealth and financial dominance, has been thrust into the center of a fraud scandal that has left the sports world stunned. Despite carrying the reputation of a billionaire, Floyd now faces mounting accusations that he deliberately targeted both loyal fans and fellow celebrities in calculated schemes designed to benefit only himself. The contradiction simply cannot be ignored. A person who has built their entire public identity around financial success, resorting to dishonest and manipulative tactics to extract money from others, is nothing short of breathtaking. It is genuinely astonishing that the highest-earning boxer in history and one of the most recognizable figures on the entire planet has found himself repeatedly at the center of fraud accusations.
Warren Buffett, that's in his 80s or 90s, that can still make a ton of money. The Waltons that own Walmart. Bill Gates can still make computers. But soon as someone black, when my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, as far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibition, it's like, oh man, he's broke. No, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say nothing about the guys that's 80 and 90 that's still making hundreds of millions and billions, but soon as somebody black does it, your people, your own people say, oh, he's broke.
Among his many questionable ventures, Floyd launched an NFT project dangling the promise of autographed boxing gloves to 2,000 investors who put their money in. The obvious question on everyone's mind was whether he actually honored that commitment and delivered what he promised. Predictably, the answer was no. Investors were left empty-handed, having handed over their money only to receive absolutely nothing in return. Yet another group of people who placed their trust in Floyd and paid the price.
Jake, true or false and why, did Floyd Mayweather fully pay up Logan Paul for their fight?
I'm not God, but my spidey senses tell me nah.
I can guarantee me and Logan Paul, we can go out and make 100 million or more.
And so you think he didn't pay up just because he hasn't got the money?
I think he probably spent it on all the girls he pays to be around him.
Logan Paul reached out to us and said that he wanted to do another exhibition. Now this is the same guy that said he didn't get paid. If he did get paid, he wouldn't be trying to get another payday.
He had the audacity to tell the media that I asked for a rematch. Let me just set the record straight. If I haven't been paid for the first one, why would I ask you for a second fight knowing I'm probably also not going to get paid the money that I was owed for my work? Second off, they asked us for a rematch.
Floyd is broke, man. I've been saying it the whole entire time.
During a recent public appearance, Floyd pushed back against his critics by insisting that every time he makes a business move or generates fresh income, people immediately rush to label him financially desperate. Rather than confronting the serious fraud accusations stacking up against him, he chose instead to reposition himself as an unfairly targeted victim of public opinion. This deliberate redirection, shining a light on his achievements while completely sidestepping the misconduct allegations, is a well-worn distraction strategy aimed at shifting the conversation away from the real issues at hand.
This rapper handed Floyd Mayweather the only L of his career. When you Google Floyd, you'll see he's the proud owner of a flawless record, 50 wins and 0 losses. But this record is objectively false. Money May is actually 50-1. The man who gleefully boasts victory over Floyd is 50 Cent. For most of the 2000s, they were friends. Then in 2012, after Floyd got out of prison, 50 claimed Floyd owed him money. Fast forward to 2014, and Floyd threw shade at 50 during the interview. 50 responded by issuing one of the most outrageous troll jobs in internet history.
If you could read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to.
50 quickly followed up to announce Jimmy Kimmel would televise Floyd attempting to read. Even more offensively, 50 downgraded the challenge from Harry Potter to Cat in the Hat. He's even announced his intent to get in the ring with them. Floyd refused to take the challenge, which to me is basically an admission he can't read. Until Floyd either knocks him out or proves he can read at a 3rd grade level, my scorecard reads 50-1. I'm Fred Michael Smith, and that's my take.
Floyd's carefully constructed image of boundless wealth took a serious blow when Jake Paul stepped forward with a damaging revelation that Floyd had completely failed to pay Logan Paul the money he was owed following their exhibition matchup. Despite a clear financial agreement being in place, Logan reportedly remains unpaid to this day. Jake pulled no punches, stating plainly that Floyd's inability to settle his debts is a direct window into his true financial reality. For someone whose entire brand is built on the premise of enormous wealth, repeatedly failing to honor basic financial agreements raises serious and unavoidable questions about whether the image he projects has any real substance behind it.
Takedowns, submissions, kicks, all that jazz, but he's choosing to fight Floyd in a boxing fight just for money, just like Conor McGregor did. It's really a trick. He gets these people to box with him. They have no business boxing with him, and he's making millions and millions of dollars doing this way after his competitive career is over. One of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches, this watch goes for $2 million, and they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds, it's like fucking $5 million, and so you hate him. People hate him.
He creates...
Not even Floyd's closest personal relationships were safe from his pattern of financial negligence. Rapper 50 Cent came forward with a deeply personal account of how he stood firmly beside Floyd throughout his time in prison, keeping his business operations running and protecting his public image. When Floyd eventually walked free, however, the significant sums of money that 50 Cent was rightfully owed never materialized. Rather than stepping up and settling the debt with the integrity of a true friend, Floyd allowed the relationship to deteriorate into a bitter and public falling out. The situation made one thing unmistakably clear. Floyd's sense of loyalty exists only where financial benefit exists alongside it.
So we got more boxing news allegations that Floyd Money Mayweather has gone broke. Now, personally, I don't believe it, but you got Tank making posts, you got other people from Saudi Arabia making posts, so y'all let me know in the comments if y'all really believe this or if they just making these stories up.
Floyd Mayweather is super rich, that he's super balling, and that he's rich beyond belief and all of this stuff, but you guys can't believe the hype, yo. I just got tipped off by one of my homies in Saudi. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I have a very good relationship with a lot of the princes in Saudi are my homies. You know, I've known them for over 15 years. Listen, man, Floyd Mayweather owes a lot of people in the Middle East a lot of money.
Floyd has openly acknowledged the intense public hatred directed at him, pointing to jealousy over his fortune and his unapologetic habit of broadcasting his wealth as the root cause. What consistently escapes him, however, is that the anger has absolutely nothing to do with the size of his bank account. The frustration people feel is not born from envy. It stems from watching him repeatedly use that wealth as a weapon to deceive, belittle, and take advantage of others. The moment a person in power begins exploiting those around them, public backlash stops being a possibility and becomes a certainty. It is his behavior, not his success, that continues to pour fuel on the fire.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
For sure.
I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on,
I mean, I just have better manager, agent.
Deji has secured the bag. After YouTuber Deji's recent boxing match against professional boxer Floyd Mayweather, Deji appeared on the What's Good podcast. YouTuber Miniminter had a burning question to ask. This comes after fellow YouTuber Logan Paul fought Mayweather back in 2021 and was left unpaid.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Just because of the Logan fight. I'm not asking how much, but did you get paid at least some of it up front?
Yes.
Okay. Because obviously Logan, when he fought, he keeps talking about how he still hasn't got anything.
Yeah.
And now you have fought him.
Yeah.
You got some of it at least.
Gervonta Tank Davis, who once operated directly under the Mayweather Promotions banner, came forward with a candid and damaging account of his time within Floyd's organization. Tank was unambiguous. He did not feel valued or fairly treated during his time there, and he strongly suggested that Floyd's priorities were always centered around maximizing his own control and financial gain rather than genuinely supporting the fighters under his care. Tank's willingness to speak publicly gave powerful new credibility to the long-standing belief that Floyd views the people in his circle primarily as tools for generating personal profit.
Yo, is it me or did Deji just get scammed in Dubai? Deji just got scammed. The fight wasn't even... The fight got called off because he was guarding. I don't understand. And Floyd was basically taking the piss the entire time, fighting the kid. Bro, what was that? And then he changed the gloves from 14 to 10. Didn't want Jake Paul to sit ring. Man, you crazy as hell. Refund everybody.
Tank's criticism extended well beyond the issue of respect and fair treatment. He went on to allege that the actual fight purses he received under Mayweather's management were never accurate or fair. Despite consistently drawing significant audiences and bringing undeniable star power to every event he participated in, Tank maintained that the financial compensation he walked away with never came close to reflecting his true value and contribution. For a promotional company built on the promise of making fighters wealthy, the allegations paint a starkly different and troubling picture of what was actually happening behind closed doors.
In my contract, we were meant to fight 14-ounce gloves, alright? 14-ounce gloves. It's been in my contract from the beginning and to the end. Well, kind of the end. But then, last minute, They're like, Floyd wants to fight in 10-ounce gloves. Eventually, I conceded. I said that I'll fight in 10-ounce gloves. It was essentially a pro fight. Mad. But you need to understand, I had a massive adrenaline dump. I was warming up and everything. Warming up with my 14-ounce gloves, whatever, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then I get the news, 10-ounce gloves. And then there's literally an hour and a half of nothing going on. He also told me that when you get into the clinch, just tell Floyd, like, relax a little bit. And he'll relax on the power. No, trust me, he was hitting me hard. Remember, I clinched him and I'm like, bruh, relax. And you know what he said to me? Shut up! I'm Floyd Mayweather. I do what I want.
The exhibition matchup between Floyd and YouTuber Deji quickly became another lightning rod for controversy, with many observers drawing direct and uncomfortable comparisons to the Logan Paul situation. The feeling among fans and critics was widespread. Deji had walked straight into the same carefully constructed trap. The pattern appeared identical across both situations: generate excitement with bold promises, build anticipation, collect the revenue, and then leave the other party without the compensation they were rightfully owed. The fallout sparked intense frustration, with voices across the boxing and online communities calling out Floyd for consistently preying on younger and less experienced individuals who lack the leverage to push back effectively.
As a fighter, you know, deep down inside, you know if you win or you lose. Did you know? I felt that I won. I felt that it can go either way, especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me and he goes, "Oscar, you beat my son."
Wait, he told you right after the fight?
Oh, yeah. And a funny story about that, too. We had a rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. If he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1-year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and 1 day.
Are you joking?
No. True story. Nobody knows this, but it's in the contract.
What? So how often did you guys try to get another thing going? It was always, no, not interested, no, not interested.
Yeah, not interested. I'm retiring. I'm out of the sport. But sure enough, a day after that contract was over, he announces his unretirement.
Deji wasted no time making his feelings public following the conclusion of their bout. He openly accused Floyd of carrying a visibly bitter and disrespectful attitude throughout the entire experience, seemingly unsettled by the enthusiastic reception the crowd showed toward the younger fighter. Beyond the emotional tension that surrounded the event, Deji alleged that Floyd flatly refused to release the full payment that had been agreed upon in their contract. For a man so deeply invested in projecting an image of supreme financial power, the repeated pattern of withholding rightful payments from those he does business with tells a very different and far less flattering story.
I'm about to see you run around the ring, slap here, a slap there, slap a little bit there, slap a little bit there, let me move around. Don't see the champ. Boxes. And when that right hand of Thanos come down with all them infinity stones and put people on Dream Street, it's nighttime. He goes viral. Deontay Wilder gives viral knockouts. You don't go viral. Not for no knockouts, you don't. You definitely don't go viral for that. So I don't know what the hell you thought this was. Somebody really finna rock with you would think like, oh, well, yeah, man, you know. Oh, yeah, Floyd coming back. No, we don't give 2 left shoes in quicksand, Floyd. Your time has come and gone. You robbed the bank, plenty of times. More power to you.
Floyd's contest against Oscar de la Hoya remains one of the most fiercely debated judging decisions in recent boxing memory. A significant portion of fans and respected analysts walked away from that fight with a firm conviction that Oscar had done more than enough to earn the victory, yet the official verdict went in Floyd's favor. The controversial outcome sparked persistent claims that Mayweather's reach extended beyond athletic performance, with many suggesting that political influence and behind-the-scenes maneuvering played a meaningful role in delivering a result that pure ring performance alone may never have secured.
I think if you take, we know guys are different ages, if you take Oscar, Manny, and Floyd all at their best.
Yeah, I think Oscar would have been the top one.
Really?
Yeah.
Better than, and obviously Floyd likes to call himself the best ever.
Nah.
So Oscar, you'd say, out of everyone you've ever fought, so many professional fights, so many great fighters.
The reason why I say that for me in my era of Oscar is because we kind of grew up together and I knew where he came from. I knew how hard he worked.
Right.
And I've been in the room with him so many different times.
Yeah.
And every time I was in the ring with him, sparring or not sparring, it was very tough.
It was a war, yeah.
It was a war, it was tough. And he always made it tough because he really
Floyd's competitive envy is not confined to fighters he has personally faced inside the ring. His attitudes toward Deontay Wilder have made his insecurities equally transparent. Wilder commands widespread admiration for his devastating knockout power and his ability to produce the kind of thrilling, crowd-stopping performances that Floyd's technical style never generated. While Floyd constructed his legacy on financial theatrics and verbal sparring, Wilder built his on raw, undeniable power and genuine excitement. The fact that someone else now commands the kind of attention Floyd craves appears to be something he simply cannot come to terms with.
You won't believe this. Floyd Mayweather is back in the NFT space to launch his metaverse called Mayweverse. There will be 5,000 NFTs with different utility, rarity levels, and rewards. But this NFT project is after a series of NFT and crypto scams he's started and promoted throughout the years. Some abandoned projects are Centra ICO, Ethereum Max, Floyd NFT, Bored Bunny, scamming his supporters for over more than $5 million. What do you think?
It's really disgusting. You know, Floyd Mayweather, you are a very insecure, unconfident, very tiny little man. I'm coming out of retirement in 2020. So? Nobody gives a fuck. We rock with Deontay Wilder. The little booger nose man era is over with. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. The only reason why you were doing those numbers on pay-per-view is because, guess what? The Klitschko brothers had the most god-awfulest, boringest, hellacious reign in the heavyweight division, where the heavyweights were basically non-existent. They were all over there in Europe, and nobody gave a fuck about it. It's the only reason why, Floyd, that you was doing all these pay-per-view numbers, because trust me, had the champ been on the scene then, which is Deontay Wilder, trust me, you won numbers, but not the way you would have done, not what you did, though. That's being honest, okay? Because guess what? All that shoe tapping and buck dancing and boot licking and butter biscuit eating that you do, we weren't going for. You are jealous of Deontay Wilder. You are envious of Deontay Wilder because you wish you were as big as him. You wish you had the power he had with the skill that you had, but you don't. You're a pillow-fisted, boot-licking crybaby who's an attention whore. We don't give a damn about. You no longer get support, so you telling something, let's see who's the biggest star. Floyd, we don't fuck with you like that. You done. Oh, I'm with Gucci. How about you get a book and read, you stupid hoe? How about you do that? You illiterate retard. How about you do that? Can you even spell?